Hello vinyl community, and welcome to part 2 of my Beatle collection. I have decided to divvy this up into 3 parts instead of 2. So part 2, sorry about that, but part 2 is going to be the rest of the EMI licensed product from 1970 to the present. And before I start, I want to apologize for the last video. I forgot to turn my 2 backlights on, so I think the video is probably pretty dark. Sorry about that. Anyway, the other thing from last time is I forgot about an album I couldn't find, and I found it, and I thought I'd start with Hard Day's Night, the Capitol issue. It came out on the purple Capitol label, and I couldn't find it last time. I forgot about it actually. And there you go. It's just the typical, not United Artists, but purple Capitol label. I picked this up recently. I never had one, and I always wanted it. And if you compare the two to my last, you see this is much less brown than my United Artists issue. Okay, next up, where we left off would be Hey Jude, the Beatles again, as it was also called. This is an original copy. It does say the spine is almost gone on this, but it did say Hey Jude on the spine. And but this one on the label, you know it's an original copy because the Apple side will be easy to read. It does indeed say the Beatles again instead of Hey Jude on the label. Also have a reissue copy of Hey Jude. Same thing, a little better condition. And look at the label of this one, and you do indeed have Hey Jude. And I have showed this before. I do also have a Japanese copy. No Obi though, but a Japanese copy of Hey Jude. It does have a Japanese insert. Flapped around. And it is on typical Japanese label. Next album they released was the Beatles 62 to 66. This is an original pressing on the Apple label with the red background. At least I believe it is. You know what? I'm going to look. Might not be. I also have a, from back then, a flat. Actually, it's not from back then, because it's from the Beatles' 20th anniversary. But, this might actually be the red Capitol label. Let's find out. This is not my original. I sold my original, and this is one I picked up somewhere along the way cheap. This is on the red Capitol label, and the blue reissue would have been on the blue Capitol label. So I do not have an original pressing of this. And I thought, what the heck, and I bought the new 2009 remastered reissue. And you can tell the difference because this one has an Apple up there. The other one had the Capitol. And I have not opened this yet. It's sort of like some of my other new Beatles. I'm not sure I will. I'm not sure there's a reason to, at least not yet. But there you go. Beatles 67 to 70. This is my original copy. I've been toting this around since about 1976. It's got the Apple, not the Capitol logo on the top. That's what clued me off, by the way, on the red album. And a long time ago, I used to have a Japanese copy. And I still have the Japanese booklet. I don't know how I still have the booklet, but I still have the Japanese booklet that came with the Japanese copy. And the insert as well. There's an insert, a guide to the Beatles, And there's something else in here. No, there's not. So anyway, American copy, but I have those Japanese things still with it. I believe I've showed this before, but this is a French copy of the Beatles 67-70 on Apple. And the reissue of the Beatles 1967-70, 2009. Other giveaway is it has a UPC, still sealed. Next release was Rock and Roll Music. Pretty poorly designed cover in my opinion, because it does that. Hard to see, hard to photograph. Gatefold. Inside was just a big advertisement for Coke, really. As were the labels. Music was fine. They got a couple of things wrong, but there's the label. They said this Get Back on here was from the album Let It Be, and it's the single version, I believe. Or I have that reversed, but they got it wrong anyway. And I think there's one other anomaly on here. Anyway, good album to listen to, not a great album to look at. And I also have the reissues from two different countries. They split it up when they reissued it. Here's Volume 1. It's an MFP series. It's a British import. Volume 1 of Rock and Roll Music. And it is on the standard red Music for Pleasure label. And I have Volume 2. It's the American. It's promo probably because it's cut, but it might be just be a cutout. There you go. And it's on the green reissue Capitol label. Next is the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl. Mine is an original with the raised lettering on the cover. Back cover. I've forgotten what the inside looks like. Much better than Rock and Roll Music, I can tell you that. And it had a custom Capitol label. Looks something like that. Next album they released is Love Songs. Mine is not an original, I don't believe. I believe originals were raised on the front, and mine is not. And I believe they also came with a book. Just does not have, and it was, this is just glossy. It does have a nice picture on the inside though. It looks almost European. And it had a custom label, which is sort of the inside. And I know it looks similar to the European because I have a, I believe it's a British import copy of Love Songs. And it is on Parlophone Records, the standard black Parlophone label. Next up is Rarities. This is an original with the raised front and the erroneous info on the back where it says John screamed in Helter Skelter, and it is not credited to George Martin. It should be right there. Great gatefold, including, of course, the butcher cover photo. And first release, I believe, to be featured on the Rainbow Again Capitol label since Sgt. Pepper, or Magical Mystery Tour, I guess it would have been. Also have an import on Parlophone. This one has the producer's credit on the bottom. And recently I picked up finally the British Beatles Rarities album. This one is made in Holland. It's really dark. And it's on the standard black Parlophone label. I have two of these, but I'm only going to show one. The other one is up for grabs in my 100 subs contest. If you want to enter, please do. Of course, this is the Beatles' Real Music. Another not very good cover. Got a custom label. And I think there's a book in here. Yeah. There's a book in here as well. A souvenir movie program. History of all the movies. Next up, haven't had this too long either. The Beatles turned into the Beatles #1s really on CD, but it's the 20 greatest hits. Hey Jude is shortened on this album. There may be one or two other anomalies on it. It's on the Purple Capital label. Next up is a fairly rare album as far as I know. I've only ever seen one copy in person, and it's the one I own. The Beatles. This is an original copy of Past Masters, not the 2009 reissue. It does contain Past Masters 1 and 2. It's on the standard purple label. And, yeah, I've rarely seen this because it's a little late for albums. The reissue of Yellow Submarine, the Yellow Submarine soundtrack as they called it, although to me this is more of an album than a soundtrack. It's a British import. And it's on a custom label. The custom Yellow Submarine label. Beatles at the B, Volume 1. This is the reissue that came out a couple of years ago. I never picked up the original. I like this one better. And I just like the mixes better. And there's one or two different songs on it. I like that it's not so mixed. Songs almost end. I just prefer it. And I bought it again on CD, and I prefer the CD much better than the original. And I like that they did a straight black and white cover and no sepia tone. That's how you tell the difference, by the way. If you don't know. Beatles on air live at the BBC Volume 2. This one's got a little bit of a crushed corner here. And because of that, I got it really, really cheap. It was sealed when I got it. And I couldn't be happier. I don't care that much about a crushed corner. And these are all British imports, the last two. Getting there. Beatles Anthology 1. Product of the UK. I think all mine are. Anthology 2. Some might be US. I think this one's US, but I'm not sure. Volume 3, Anthology. Again, it might be US. Start doing that. Gonna tip over on me. Couple more here. I do have Beatles 1, still sealed, haven't opened it. Volume 3 of Anthology was still sealed too, by the way. Beatles Love, still sealed. This I will open and listen to it one day, but I haven't done it yet. The mood strikes me. I will do that. Two more. From Liverpool, the Beatle box. I'm not going to show this in any detail. I think a lot of you have seen it. Me and Mr. Mayo showed it in a video. It's got 8 discs in here. It's about 2/3 of everything the Beatles ever did, really. Mine is made in Portugal, which is very odd. I'll show just one This is the first record. It's a general idea of what they look like. Standard Parlophone label. And last but not least, I do have the mono box. It sits right there next to my camera. I could probably use it to put my camera on, actually. And it's heavy, so I'm going to put it down. You've all seen it. You can look at any number of videos on YouTube to get a load of the mono box. But, yeah. So that's it for my EMI. I don't know if you think that's a lot or a little or whatever. But once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Leave me comments. I do have a 100 subs contest. Feel free to enter that. I would love it. And check out my podcast, the Snap, Crackle, and Pop Vinyl Hour. And I will be back in just a minute with part 3, which is going to be all my non-EMI Beatle finds, including interview albums, bootlegs, other labels, all that kind of stuff. So watch that. And again, I know it quick, but hope I didn't go too quick. And thanks for watching. And stay tuned for part 3.